So now he's going to have to unmute himself too. What's up, everybody? Thursday night, Gun News Weekly.
This is an angry baby.
Ooh, we got a new sponsor to announce next week. Make sure you stay tuned. Tonight, it's an NRA annual meeting 2016 wrap-up. I was there. Q was there. You guys were there via, Thursday night. Thanks to David Horton once again for that theme music. Shout out to our panel first and foremost. What's up, Ross?
Having a good night, man. How about yourself?
Dude, it's good. Busy. Like I said in the Facebook pre-thing, I'm just running around trying to take care of things with the family real quick. Singing, it's end of year recital time, so
Man.
Here we are on a Thursday. Somehow we got it all together. Hopefully Joe C is going to join us. Joe from 13C on YouTube is going to be able to join us. He's having a little bit of an audio technical difficulty. Eric's here as always. What's up, brother?
Hey, what's going on, man?
It's time. Lots to talk about. I got all this swag and stuff around me to talk about. Casey's in the house. Last minute as always. What's up, buddy?
What's up, everybody?
I don't know. Let's check and see if Joe can check us. Joe, you got us? He can. Nah, see, we can hear him. No, we cannot hear him. Nah, unfortunately, we can't. Negative on that. Log in one more time with that plugged in and see if that makes the difference, Joe. And hopefully that, if you jump out and jump back in a couple times, we can make it work. He's trying his best, everybody. Thanks to our sponsors, Century Arms, as you saw, Hilux, Green Force Tactical Key Bar. We appreciate it. Lots of things coming and going over this past week, but the big news was the NRA weekend. But before we go there, let's be fair. Q, busy, got stuff going on. Schwell, getting things taken care of. As we all know, he's got his condition that he's dealing with medically. And what I'd like to say is, first of all, get well as soon as possible, buddy. And we know we'll be seeing you soon. And to everybody else that's friends of Schwell's, leave him alone. Let him rest. Stop calling. He knows you love him. Hit him on Facebook with a quick message, but leave him alone. And I'm going to do the same. I vow to. He'll call us back. He'll get back to us. You know how it goes. But get better soon as you can, buddy. We look forward to getting you back in next week. All right. You want to start with the NRA stuff first, guys? I guess.
Sure.
Yeah.
It was fun. It was a packed crowd. It was what you come to expect. Rows and rows and rows and rows of guns and companies, good people. Oh, I heard a click from Jill.
So Kevin, it was the NRA represents all gun owners, right? Like ethnically diverse, had men and women. It was.
So here, two things that I wanted to bring up about the event, because we don't shy away from talking about some of the organizations that are running things for the gun world. A lot of people think that the NRA is the end-all be-all, and I get it, and I appreciate the loyalty to it, and I appreciate the event. They hosted a great event. You brought it up, though. Look at any of the speeches. Look at the crowd shots. They talk about how diverse the crowd is and how diverse the membership is at the NRA. It's not evident there. It's not noticeable. There are a few minority people walking around. For the most part, it's old white America still.
If the NRA was truly, and I'll put this in giant bunny quotes, inclusive, you wouldn't need Facebook pages or Twitter feeds or Instagram feeds like NRA Women, or things like that, where the NRA represents all gun owners. It doesn't represent a segment of gun owners. Unfortunately, I think the NRA doesn't know how to bring in new membership without, I think, the fear of alienating its current membership.
Well, the other important thing to remember is that guns have been a almost exclusively male realm until, maybe 10, 15 years ago. I'm not even going to say that long. When gun ownership among women and others, of course, we know there's a large minority population that are gun owners. But I would say that the overall historical PR from the NRA has been your average white gun owner. I think they're trying to change that. I think they're evolving with the times, evolving with the culture. The culture has certainly changed in the last 15 years.
I mean, I'm not making it up. The evidence is all there. They post all the pictures. The other big news from this event was that for the first time ever, or the first time in many years, not the first time ever, they, right before he presented, the NRA endorsed officially at their annual meeting Donald Trump. And when you watch his speech, it is here. So here was the other part that I'm saying. So not only is it this group of predominantly white men, the message is everything they believe in to their core. So it's just affirmation after affirmation after affirmation when it comes to what's going on with the Donald Trump speech. Gun-free zones. He hit all the points. I watched it on the plane ride home. I didn't see it live.
So Kevin, do you believe that his sons have so many guns that he says they have tons and tons of guns?
Like they have more than I do.
Exactly. I mean, do you really believe that?
I don't know.
I mean,
should we check it? Let's fact check it.
I mean, like Trump or not, and I'm not gonna say what I do or don't do, but he plays to the audience in front of him.
100%.
What's actually coming out of his mouth is legitimate, and if the NRA truly wants to represent all gun owners, I mean, they really had no choice because they had to, with who the other candidates were, but to represent all gun owners, you pick someone that has come out and made statements that alienate many, many different types of people that are fabric of our country.
Yeah, that was my whole point. So as soon as the NRA membership, so this full circle, this conversation comes back to, so as soon as they say we endorse Donald Trump, do you think they're ever going to sway that woman in the middle who thinks he's a little sexist or really doesn't like him or is definitely going to vote for Hillary? They're never going to get that person, ever, ever, ever.
They're also never going to get the person that's kind of on the wall. They're the, I don't know about guns, I'm not sure, but I want to learn. But they see them endorsing someone like Trump, and they're like, I don't know if I want to go check out an organization that has gone down that road.
There you go. So it is. Man, did you guys hear Joe for a second, or is that me?
Did you hear me? I'm here.
Yes, yes. What's up, Joe?
Yes. Sorry.
That's all right.
I'm glad to be here. Finally, I have no
Chime
idea
in
what
right
happened.
now. What do you think about the NRA endorsing Donald Trump?
I had a feeling something like this was coming. Just leading up to it, the little bit of buzz I got, some of the press stuff, but I am shocked they would do it this early and this soon as they did. You know, I'm kind of the same camp you are, Kevin. It's considering where he's been, I would have thought he would have waited longer to, I don't know, try and get something maybe a little more definitive out of him. I'm surprised. Well, I am and I'm not surprised. Let me put it that way, because just the way the NRA has been over the years. You
think they handed him a check and some talking points and said, "We're with you," or do you think? I mean, is that how it works?
I'm not sure how it works. Last year at the NRA, I wound up getting to ask Trump a couple questions, and yeah, he's a very hard person to read. It maybe, and yeah, I'm trying to give him the benefit of the doubt on the firearms issue. Maybe he actually does believe that what he's saying about firearms, he's changed his mind now, because his son, one of them anyway, is actually a really pro 2A guy. So perhaps he can bend his ear and actually change the Donald's mind. You know, perhaps. He's so opportunistic, and he's changed his opinion on so many things that I honestly have no idea where he's at and where he's going.
All right, let's talk about it. Eric, you said it in the pre-show and you didn't think I was listening, and I'm hearing this more and more right now. There's this buzz. Let's be real. Even though Donald Trump says, I'm not a new politician, I'm new to this whole thing, the buzz is Donald Trump is a really good politician right now.
He has so people say he's a businessman. He's run companies or a company or done real estate in New York. He's a politician. He's a businessman and a politician. I'll put him in both camps. The only way you can be successful doing what he's done for decades in New York is working with both Republicans and Democrats, working at the state level, working at the federal level. I mean, the only way you can get even the international deals that he claims that he works is you have to be a politician. You're speaking to the audience in front of you, and they're hearing what they want to hear what they want to hear. So you tailor your speech, you tailor your feelings to who's in front of you. I mean, look what he does with veterans. Early on, he talked about John McCain not being a war hero. Yet, what does he say now? I love veterans. I held a fundraiser for veterans where I raised $6 million. Yet no one can account for where that $6 million are. It's actually closer to like 4.5 or 5.5, and he claimed he gave $1 million of his own money that no one can see where that money went.
I think anyone that's running at this level at this point, you're going to see those types of things, and this is what the political game's going to be now. Benghazi and emails and this and that. What about his money? And so let's stay away from the political side. I think again it's relevant to our discussion because the elected officials that run the NRA made a decision at a meeting to do this.
They did, and
so whatever that agenda is, whatever the potential payment was, whatever, again, call it for what it is. We don't really know yet.
Publicity? I mean, at the end of the day, is that what it is?
Okay, let me ask you this. You went there and we talked earlier about the absence of diversity.
Yep.
What do you think a majority of the NRA members feel about that? I mean, how do you really think? I mean, it is a membership. It is a membership
on this conversation. Here it is. The black people that I saw that were there, many of them, not all of them, and again, a couple of them, my friends. And you, Ross, we've had this conversation. From where we're from, we're friends with all kinds of different cultures.
Absolutely, there's really no prejudice.
But this is why we can talk about this because we have no embarrassment on it. And again, anyone that was at the show, tell me I'm wrong. Many of the black people had on Coleon Noir swag, pew 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 shirts, hats. Many, more than half that I saw. So that tells me that segment is paying attention and is supporting that segment of the NRA. So, is it working? Maybe. But that's just an interesting take on that whole thing. And Schwab is yelling at me right now, so sorry he doesn't have the opportunity to do that. Put it in the comments.
Where I'm going with this is the NRA is a membership organization. And to endorse somebody like Trump, I would believe that 51% of the makeup of the NRA feels that that's appropriate because they are a membership obligated organization. So,
does he bring more future members, Ross?
But Ross, that doesn't matter right now because they have to cater to their members, not future members. Yeah, it needs to be an assessment to their business, but the real people that they need to please are their shareholders. Their shareholders are their members.
Interesting.
But the NRA has.
I don't know how much I agree with that.
Go ahead, Joe. What do you got?
Yeah.
So, the NRA. Look at where the NRA has been over the years. There's a big push we're doing right now to repeal the Hughes Amendment. The Hughes Amendment is 100% the fault of the NRAs. And of course, a big share that also falls on Reagan. But we're not allowed to talk about the NRA passes gun control. We're not allowed to talk about Reagan. We're suffering under Reagan's ban right now. We're not allowed to talk about Bush Sr. We're suffering under his ban now. We have to focus on things like Clinton's ban, which of course was 10 years and sunsetted. The point I'm getting around to that is the NRA has, and I am an NRA member. I've got, I think, 4 years left of my current membership. I will never be a lifetime member of any of these organizations simply because of what they do to us along the line, most of them anyway. And the NRA has been no different. Look, guys like Joaquin Jackson is still on the board of directors. I mean, for the love of God, that guy should have been booted out on his ass a decade ago. But no, he's still there. So the NRA is at the leadership level, tends to be a very cliquey, self-serving, keep themselves in power political organization that at its core is no different wanting to maintain power than the Republican or Democrat Party or even the Libertarian Party when you get up to those levels. They are self-serving first and foremost, and what the wishes of the membership is a distant second,
There you
in
go.
my opinion, anyway. And that's what I've seen.
If the NRA got everything it wanted, the NRA would cease to exist. The NRA needs to have an anti-Second Amendment community to continue itself, continue it, the political wing of it. I think you can cut it down the middle. You have the political side of the organization, and you have the training side that, in my opinion, gets kind of left in the shadows when people hear the NRA. I think they think the political side of it more than the training, the Johnny Appleseed training programs and so forth. Without anti-Second Amendment, there is no NRA. They won't have their fundraisers. I mean, every time a politician says something anti-gun, I get 12 emails in my inbox reminding me to renew my news subscription, as well as donating and trying to do scare tactics, which they claim the left side is doing as well. They're no different. They're just looking at it from a different side of the coin.
Well, and again, they are put in their positions on their board by the members of the NRA.
Oh, it is.
So when you go back to it, they need to please their members first. It's the way it has to be.
But not all members, Ross. Only lifetime members and those that have had 5 years or more membership get to vote. So not all members do. So
that's fine though. But so a majority of those people would then be okay with a Donald Trump endorsement.
I'll go back and look, but I think the actual true percentage of people that vote for the board of directors is actually a very small percentage of overall NRA membership.
Very small, yes.
All right. Well, let's go back to the event and get back a little bit deeper into what was good, bad, ugly about the event. All right, let's go good. What did you like, Joe? Did you see anything new? I mean, I have a short list of a couple things that I really liked. What stood out for you?
So I'm trying to think of what was new that there wasn't a whole lot new from SHOT Show. So there are things that I'm waiting for and kind of anticipating, like the 9mm MP40. That's gonna be cool when that finally comes out. The guys at Hill and Mac Gunworks with their STG 44. It's going to be, in a couple various different calibers, everything from the original. I think they're going to do the original carts, but they'll have 7.62x3.9. I think will be the main one that they're going to be running, which is going to be awesome, and stuff like that. So.
Right on. I got a few stories from the show, and I also had my personal favorites, which are embedded along these stories. I just didn't know if anything was shocking to you. First and foremost, we did some cool stuff with. Well, let's do the L2D stuff last, but go to L2D Combat, go to L2D_combat on Instagram, and you're going to see exactly what I'm going to show you live in just a few minutes. That's a good preview because we'll talk about their barrels, their slides, some of the stuff that we did there. The Shield in 45. Any opinion on that by anybody?
Woof. How many rounds you get in that?
I think it's 7 total, 8 total.
45, you said?
Yeah, it's out of 45. And it had 6 rounds, and it's
how long is
7 in the extended pinky reset mag.
How long is the barrel?
The grip's longer than the barrel is.
The barrel is. It says the length is 6.45. The barrel is.
What, 4? 3.5?
Something like that. I don't even know. It doesn't say.
That's insane. Why?
So it's a 45 carry gun that was announced. HK debuted the SP5K. You know about this? The thing that looks like the MP5. Pretty sharp-looking little gun. It's kind of like the Zenith, which is also announced. Something new. Where's the Zenith one?
That's cool.
Hold on. I got it somewhere on here. We'll get to it. So they debuted that one. We'll show that in a second. Ross, you mentioned SIG, who I thought had the best booth overall. They had cool ammo displays. They had cool suppressor displays. Their guns are displayed well. You could read it very clearly of what it is and how much it costs. But now they're doing this whole thing, Ross, the air guns.
Air guns.
Look,
fully.
Yeah.
I mean, basically, they're putting out models, exact models of their weapons. Trigger pulls, everything will be the same, except except their air guns. Yep. They're calling it the non-lethal line. And I don't know what the price is on it. I did not get that far. You got
it. You got they're CO2 powered. With the stats people want to know. The rifles are 750 feet per second. The pistols are around 500 feet per second. 30-round magazine with the rifle, 16-round magazine with pistol. Flat Dark Earth, black. The P250. They have the P226, and the P250 is black or olive drab. And prices start at $79.95 for the pistols, $249 for the rifles.
Not bad. They're so Umarex has also a line of air guns as well, and in a lot of states where you have firearms regulations, these fall outside of that, so you can own one.
You know, they're also talking about this for training, because the trigger pull is exact and all that. You can take this into other environments and train people instead of having to be on a firing line to do this training. So it serves multiple purposes.
The Ruger comes out with a new 1022 Light. I don't know if you guys saw that. Different colors, but it's the barrels are not fluted. The barrels are drilled out at the end. They're kind of odd looking, but anyway, they're actually looks like barrels threaded, so it's ready for their 22 sound suppressor as well.
Did you go to Daniel Defense and check out their 32-round magazines?
No, but that is my good segue. That is my award winner, and Joe, back me up. They're the best. They did the best job marketing at the show. They once again hit the urinals.
Oh yeah, they were.
Yeah, I got a picture of the thing. Hold on, I'll show it to everybody so they know what I'm talking about. But it's unavoidable, and they know what they're doing. Look at this.
Yeah.
That's what's in front of you when you go to the urinal at NRA and SHOT Show. I think they do something very similar. Shout out to Southeast Traders for that post that got reposted on the Firearm blog. But yeah, wouldn't you rather be holding 32 double D? That was everywhere. They had a couple other things. Eric, I did not check them out. But what this does in my world would be, this would equal the there's your 9mm 45. This would equal
at least on the
because I don't load my mags to 30. I go to 20.
At least with the 45 shield there, they improved the stippling. It looks like on the grip, looks like they actually have some legit stippling on it versus better than what they've done in the past.
Sure. Can
I say that one?
Yeah, you're right. I got you. Two more things that I thought were cool. Now this, if you said to me, and Eric, I don't know if we had this discussion. No, I don't think we have. If you said to me, what's the coolest thing you saw at the NRA event? Like physically saw, demoed, played with, whatever. What was the coolest thing? And I told you it was an EOTech. What would you think immediately?
I would think it's got to be a 1x6 or something like that.
Man.
Something not that they normally do. I'm guessing.
Check out this guy. This is how good Eric is. Eric, well done. This thing's called the Voodoo. Okay, and I'll show this to you, and I'll zoom in a little bit and show you. So when you're looking through the reticle, right, and at a show like that, you can kind of, they're big spaces, so you could aim at the ceiling 50 yards away pretty easily and hit a black background in between the lights. You're looking at that reticle, and as you take the lever and you turn, or I think you just grab the whole thing and turn it. That's the other thing I liked about it. So that whole back section here is right here.
Is it a first focal plane?
Yes. Yes. So what happens is, hold on. So what happens is you're looking through here, right? As you turn it, this circular thing gets bigger and bigger and bigger until it disappears, and the middle reticle that you see there, that little cross, becomes bigger and goes to there. So as you're at full six, you now have a hatched reticle.
That's impressive.
And it was smooth, and it was red, and it was cool.
How clean was the glass?
And it was clean glass. I was impressed. Now, Joe, did you look at this thing?
I did not. I love first focal plane sights. In an optic now, it's not. I have no interest in it at all. Just because it's so nice. You can keep your ranging estimates. You can keep your perspective size on whatever target you're looking at. You don't have to worry about changing any different holdovers or anything else. You just go with whatever you were going to go with. So that's one of those duh moments when you see something like that. Why didn't someone else think of that?
And for the first, and I'm telling you, they nailed it. It's not like it's choppy. It's not like it was. It's the one thing that everything I saw, and like I said, played with, couple other cool things too. But I was definitely, wow, that's something I need to make part of my life. So regardless, $12.99. They come in black. The thing was, as soon as I mentioned it to Schwell on the phone when I spoke to him from the NRA, he said, "See, this is what's crazy. They introduced this at SHOT. No one covered it. Why? The issue with the holograph."
Yeah, you're right.
I didn't even bother going by their booth.
Exactly. No one did. Can you believe we're talking about how many months later? 3 months later, we're now having a conversation. Not with the end-all be-all conversation about scopes, because we're definitely not. But again, lifetime guarantee, ruggedness, reliability. I can't wait to see if we can do something. I did talk to a couple great folks there. The other cool thing that was there was they had one mounted on a Lang Zhang Tactical, one of the really nice ones that we saw at Big 3, Ross. So
Sweet.
we'll just call it our homeboy from Lang Zhang. He hooked it up. They had that on the wall with one of the so they're friends with those guys. Hopefully we can work with EOTech and do something in the future to get our hands on one of these somehow and check them out, because they were definitely very cool. All right, so that was my favorite.
How the hell did you get a Lang Sang patch? That's crazy.
Wait, dude, I got friends. I can now say that. I got friends.
All right, well, I need friends.
Right on. They're fantastic rifles too. They really.
Oh, I did. I love the hell out of the one that I shot down at Big 3.
Yep. All right, what else is on? So that's called the Voodoo, VUDU. 1x6 time precision rifle scope, EOTech, $12.99. Go check it out on their website. What else? The Micro Tavor X95s were there. A lot of cool stuff from IWI, and again, we're spoiled because we get to see those guys at Big 3 as well, and saw all the new Galil variants and that kind of stuff as well. I always like looking at the cutout, because that's the one place you can actually see it live and check it out. They have a cutout display model of a Tavor. That's got to be worth a lot of money, by the way. What else? I guess we'll get into some news. Joe, you're more than welcome to hang out, man. We got, again, a short squad tonight. Feel free to pitch in, hang out. If you need to take off, feel free to take off, whatever you got on your plate.
Sounds good.
Let everybody know real quick. We'll take a quick break and jump in. Where can everybody find you on YouTube, et cetera, et cetera?
The easiest way is just to search 13C Gun Reviews on YouTube. The actual direct link would be youtube.com/Prometheus77777.
That's like code.
Exactly. So Prometheus 57,
Got it.
I don't know. It was one of those things where you start off and then you're just not like a lot of guys. You're not planning on doing anything big with it, and then next thing you know, here you are.
I hear you. So, what was your goal going to NRA? I mean, is it coverage, relationships, seeing friends? What's your story there?
Yeah, so NRA for me every year is kind of a me type of thing. It's more of a selfish event. You go into all these other different events and trade shows. I'm going there to cover specific things, or I have things specifically on my plate. NRA generally, I just go down and I have fun. I'll do some follow-ups with some different manufacturers or something from previous events just to touch base with them. But yeah, it's just kind of hanging out, seeing people, and just trying to look around and see new stuff and just enjoying it more than
100%. 100%. It was a good time. I mean, whether you go, I pulled my camera out a couple times, and most of that coverage has been released. The only thing that I've missed and haven't spoken about yet was the ability to see someone like Rob Pincus in front of 300, 400 people discussing home safety, barricade plan, having a plan in your home, and again, these time, again, the spree killer tactics and defense and mindset and that type of thing, and watching him do his thing for an hour. I'll have a highlight reel from that as well coming soon. But that's the other thing that's going on there. There's membership meetings. There's huge seminars going on all kinds of different topics. I know there was a YouTuber event that a couple people broke away for a couple hours. Shout out to our friends from We Like Shooting. Shout out to Aaron. Got to spend some time with him, and I'll just say that him and me and Q at dinners can be pretty funny. That's a funny dude, Aaron from We Like Shooting. Shout out to all the people from We Like Shooting as well. And the other thing that was on my list is the L2D stuff. I guess I'll show that real quick. It's 35 after the hour, and there's just a few other stories we'll get into after. But this stuff, if you saw any of the coverage we did and some of the live stuff, I guess I'll go with the eye candy first. But right now, if you go to, again, L2D_combat, and you check out the page that has these on them, or he has a link to his website, where these are now on sale for $155. These are for Gen 4 Glocks. It's eye candy stuff. This is the PVD finish.
It's blinging.
It is blingy. It is, and again, it's the vented cutouts. You definitely get a little bit. Let me see if I can get. There you go. Look at that. Couple fingerprints, but that's the L2D Combat. That's the PVD model. The other thing that I'll point out is they have all kinds of different finishes, and these guys are, as you see them on their website, they're gone. So email them quick if you want one. Go buy it right away. If it's listed, they have it. But when they're gone, they're gone. That's what I've been told, especially at that price. They also have like I'm going to have to get the list from them, but they have a list of different, obviously they have the different coatings that are simple in terms of coloring, but they also have the different ones that make them super strong, like the best type of coating you can get. These are the L2D Combat Glock. They fit Glock Gen 4s, and they're on sale for $155 right now. Now,
which Glocks do they fit for Gen 4s? 19s,
43s? Most of these are 19s. Most of these are for 19s that are for sale. You'll also see they have some new stuff. And they do make their own barrels, the L2D Combat barrels, and they also have their own thread protectors now too that are pretty slick.
Nice.
And anyone that went by the booth saw the Micro-Roni, because that's what they use with a Glock 18 full auto with the 33 round mags to test all their slides and different barrels. And since I only have a Gen 3 Glock, what I was able to put together was their new match grade Glock 19 L2D Combat. You gotta love that. The match grade silver barrel, but here's what's kind of cool. Check this out.
That looks sexy.
So it says L2D. So L2D, and then your last round goes Combat.
Speaking of the Roni, did you hear the ones with the braces are heading out to distributors now?
The ones with the quiet.
Dude, I'm going to tell you that was my favorite product at Big 3.
Ronis are going to be a hit. There's no two ways about it. Yeah.
Huge.
Yeah. They're going to be huge. Couple more things to show you guys real quick, if this is cool, the little show and tell time, as long as no one's bored yet. The Tough Pens, working on a Gun News Weekly edition, engraved. We'll talk about it later. But yeah, these things are legit. What I found out was that I have to have the hard tip on the end, because apparently having a personal handcuff key in Florida is a no-no. I gotta look into that. Is it really in Florida? Is that the deal?
It was when I lived there 10-ish years ago.
All right.
I don't know if it's changed, but it was.
I think it is. According to our friends Nancy. Shout out to Nancy. Glad to hear all her good news, and she had a great show from what I understand too. So I did a quick video with her brother showing this pen in action real quick. They write good. It's no BS. That's a great pen. The tough products. The other, I'll show you a cool new holster in 1 second, but the swag of the swag. Let's talk about that for a little bit, because there was a little bit. We'll do a quick shout out to our friends from HTC. You need a battle belt or holster setup rig, go check those guys out.
Yeah, they're good guys.
Their low-profile battle belt system is impressive in person.
Very.
I agree, and probably one you could pass on to your kids' kids.
Yes, it's bulletproof.
Right on. The patch, ATAC wants all patches now. She's like a big patch collector, so. But the one she did not want and Mom does not like is the Sentries. Got their new AK Girl patches. Those are great.
Love it.
And hold on, I gotta shut the door.
Gotta shut the door.
It's like
This is going to be a good one.
Yeah, it's gonna be a good one.
It's like high school.
I just noticed that. I heard them in the distance. And again, shout out to Dina and all the crew from Century and from Canic USA, because they had about the coolest.
That's badass, dude.
About the coolest one you've ever seen. It's rubbery, you know. It's
Dude,
like,
did you get me one? Please say you got me one of those.
I got ATAC one because it was her birthday.
Oh, you asshole.
I can get us some. How about that? I'm committed to getting you one. How about that?
Yeah.
That's impressive. Smart move, guys.
They're really cool. They're really cool. So they've done some really cool stuff. Their T-shirts were cool. The Century stuff was really cool. The Canic stuff was really cool. Lastly, and again, we can speak on this because we now all have some experience, and I know you guys are going to be interested. Someone's going to be interested in this, I'm sure. I was very happy to see Nate from Nate Squared Tactical. Shout out to the Nate and the other Nate and the wives of the Nates and all the people that work at Nate Squared. This is a great company that we were able to team with very early in our foray into this thing online. One of the main reasons why, quality.
Ooh, nice.
Bunch of guys and gals making a great product here in America, and it's a success story, and they won't sell out. Yes, and you guys ready? You might have seen this on again if you were paying attention. The one clip's been the standard for a very long time. They upgraded the upgraded clip. So yes, but now, ta-da! Let's check this thing out real quick. The polycarbonate that you're used to. Once again with their... Okay, so obviously none of the gun is touching you. It's a much bigger face. You can't feel anything here, and it's 2 clips. So that's that, again, cross-tuck, King Cobra, whatever the hell all that other stuff is called.
Cobra. Okay, Karate Kid.
It's not a fucking beer!
So that's like kind of that style, but with the Nate Squared system where, again, you get in there, you turn it towards you, it clears the guard, and you pull it out. It's comfortable. It's what you would expect from Nate Squared. So a little bit bigger. So maybe for you bigger guys that like the 2 clips. Now, for now, not available on TacDaddy.com yet. Will be soon. For now, go check out Nate Squared Tactical if you're interested in this model. And obviously, there's different places to put the clips up, down, etc., etc. So that's the new one, and I don't even know. I forget the name of it. He told me one time, and it was mid-show, and we were running around. I said, "Oh, that's fantastic," and he said, "Let me give you one to take home and test out." I will be putting this through the motion this summer here in South Florida, no doubt about it. And I can tell you, our friends from Amtac Suppressors are incredibly happy with the Nate Squared products because you remember Ross? He tried that one. I think he's going to get ready to get to his 3rd one. So he's
really?
He's getting them for all his guns.
Yeah, I'm telling you, man. I got a guy who watches the show, Wes. If you're watching tonight, shout out to you, bud. Who just purchased one as well. Looking forward to getting it. So they're definitely growing in popularity.
Now, you remember I mentioned Eka knives a while back? This is a DPX. Ooh. This is a one of a kind that we did the test treatments on. But the Eka knives have teamed up with L2D Combat literally within hours of this broadcast, and sooner than later I think you're going to see L2D Combat offering not only the Eka knives that we offer, but them with the different treatments that they do on the slides. They're also going to be doing them on the different knives. So you're going to see the different colors and the different mirrored polishes and all that stuff available as well. All right, that's what I got on gear, I think, other than the fact that we didn't mention that we did go to a party. So there's only one party that we really kind of go to at NRA. That's second year in a row, and that is the Tactical Response get-together. And just real quick, a couple shout-outs to them. James and Rebecca as hosts, fantastic. Again, they're the one place that everyone gets together. It's a good time. Everyone's treated with respect. There's never a problem. A couple of our friends were there. Shout out to everybody from Key Bar. What a great story. I mean, what a great story. My new friend from Savoy Leather, very cool hanging out, talking about everything from crawfish to haunted houses. I mean, you can't even imagine some of the conversations we had once we got kicked out of that place, and it was later. And who else did I want to mention from there? Again, the family from Century, all the great folks from there were there, and some new friends we're going to be talking about soon. Let's just put it that way. What else? What else? You know, the other thing about the NRA, Ross, that's interesting is there was some confusion, but this year, other than the Trump event where the Secret Service was in charge, and there you couldn't even have a pocket knife. Other than that event, from what I understand, you were allowed to carry. I saw a bunch of people open carrying. Most of them had a badge next to the gun, though. Joe, did you notice that too?
It looked like most of the people open carrying did have a badge next to the gun. I'm pretty sure it was legal to carry there. I know I was.
It was legal to carry if you had any kind of reciprocal license or you were permitted to have a gun. Me and my team we were always loaded and ready, and just in case, as we always are in life. And there were no issues. I have to think there had to have been, again, a low estimate in my mind, and I haven't seen the official numbers. Eric, I don't know if you've seen anything, but I would think that 40,000, 50,000 people were probably in one place at one time, all responsibly armed.
Well, if only half of them were, that'd be 25,000 guns in the place.
At least.
Nobody got killed?
Nothing happened.
Nothing.
Isn't that amazing?
I had an extra magazine with me too, Ross.
There you go, man. That ammunition didn't pop off just out of nowhere.
Nothing.
It's a shame. You know, I said it last week, and I'll say it again. I saw all these memes come out before stating what hypocrites the NRA is, because the show would be metal detected and no guns allowed on the premises. And it just goes to show the misinformation that's out there.
Everyone's talking about how great it's going to be in Atlanta, because Atlanta's such a city and they can accommodate all the people, and it won't even be a hiccup because they have huge conventions. I don't know what the rules are in Atlanta, though.
Georgia, you can carry. I don't think there's anything about carrying inside a facility like that.
Okay.
Is there? Not to my knowledge.
All right, cool. Let's look into that, and we'll report back on that for sure next week. We're about 15 minutes left in the show. I do have a couple more things. Make sure you stay tuned to the end. I've got a very important 3-minute video. We made a commitment this year to talking about veteran suicide and doing what we can to raise awareness, and I think this one's pretty touching. Not even touching is not the right word. This is the one that you need to see. It's worth it. So stick around for that for sure. Guys, I want to, again, I didn't even mention this, but Ross, Eric, Casey, I want to get into this Katie Couric thing at some point. Not on this show tonight because there's not enough time, but I've seen these snippets and this stuff about this show she put together, and she's been misrepresenting some of the comments, and I want to do a little deeper investigation. Hopefully Schwell can join us for that one too, but don't think that we missed it. Breaking news. The ATF has approved the SB Tactical Collapsing Brace. Have you guys seen this?
I did, and the first thing I thought was, how long before they reversed themselves?
Well, here it is. It's like that Troy collapsible brace that we saw preview a little bit while back. That's what I would kind of call it, correct?
Mm-hmm.
And what you have now, let me make this a little bit bigger for you.
It looks no different than that Troy brace, though.
It really doesn't, especially when it's up close, huh? So you have a pistol with the buffer tube that sticks out, and then this thing just collapses and extends. Is that correct?
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay. So what if you don't have a pistol? I mean, what if you don't have a buffer tube that sticks out? Because aren't there a bunch of pistols that don't?
I'm going to say that it goes back to whatever paperwork they supplied with that.
I'm sorry. I said that wrong. Isn't there one model that doesn't have that buffer tube extension?
Yeah, there's some from SIG and a couple other companies.
Okay. Right on.
I haven't, since I got pissed off at all those rulings in Form 1 to all my short-barreled guns, I haven't followed what's happening. Are we still in that stupid gray area where you can't put it on your shoulder, but it can be resting on your cheek? Are we still, is that still the law?
Yes, but I heard some new conversation about that, and it's not legal advice, but what I heard was that you'd have to be committing another crime for them to even sniff it.
Isn't this one?
And then I said, but what if you're on YouTube and you make YouTube videos and you show yourself consistently doing it? And he
Exactly.
goes,
Yeah.
I wouldn't do that.
Right.
Isn't
But
this
for
one of
the
those
average
things?
guy that goes to the range and shoots his gun,
Is this
Yeah,
one of these things though you don't talk about? You just kind of observe.
yeah.
right.
I doubt there's a range safety officer out there that would say, "Hey, get that thing off your shoulder," or ask you for your Form 1 if you had a short barrel.
All right,
Ross,
Never.
you'd be
I've never
surprised,
done
man.
for
You'd be
any-
surprised.
we got to fly through these stories. The Sturmgewehr, is that what it's called? Is that how you say it?
You're good.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Our friends from Hill and Mac brought it to the event. They showed it. A lot of people saw it. Apparently, it's shooting like a champ. Go check it out. It's very cool. We did not talk about the bulletproof Carhartt jackets. You guys hear about this story?
I did not.
A suspect in New York was shot by NYPD. However, 4 of the 9 rounds were defeated by the suspect's Carhartt jacket.
They're tough-ass jackets, I guarantee you that.
NYPD used beer gold dot 124 plus P jacketed hollow points, according to an article by the Tribunist. 1 round grazed a bystander.
I'm gonna say that either. Well, we know that the NYPD they've had some issues with overshooting at suspects.
Missing shooting, overshooting. What are you calling overshooting?
Overshooting, 50 plus rounds, 60 rounds.
Many
one guy?
times. Keeping shooting.
Overshooting.
Start shooting.
Overshooting in a 50-yard radius. Let's call it
And-
that way.
And I'll be curious to see with the jacket. Maybe it stopped it on the exit, but I really have a hard time saying that thing stopped it on the entry.
I think there's already been some tests done and some people putting out videos, and I think obviously we're going to have to invest in a Carhartt jacket ourselves and see what happens.
I've got many of them.
Oh, Ross, you'll wear the jacket and I can shoot it?
I may not have one baggy enough, but I'm thinking if you had a baggy enough jacket and you caught a good ripple and fold in that jacket, that duck cloth is some tough ass shit, man. I ain't saying it's Kevlar, but I'm saying if you could disperse the energy of the bullet by absorbing it, I could imagine a Carhartt doing that.
All right.
Only you.
To be determined. We'll keep going, flying through a couple of last good stories. The personal indoor gun range from Bullet Trap USA. Have you seen this?
They have one at my local gun shop. It's cool as hell.
With this, they're showing it. Casey, check this out. They're showing it in your house, like in your living room, from living room to dining room area. Kind of large.
Oh no.
Holy crap!
Okay, check that out.
Your poor neighbors.
Here it is. Let's check this out. I didn't even watch the video. Maybe we can.
Yeah, our local dealer has it just to test function.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Oh my god.
Phone rings. Ring ring. Jenny, what are you doing? Oh, nothing.
Or she comes running down the stairs to get the phone.
Hey, it fits in your average basement.
Jenny, I think I just popped a cap in your ass.
Oh, they got some safety sensors, so in case anyone tries to walk in between, something's gonna beep or something.
That'll help you if you're in the middle of shooting.
That's comforting.
Yeah,
to
when
know.
you're doing a mag dump in the living room, that's going to be comforting.
The speed of sound.
Oh, it's light that tells you. The light tells you. Johnny's gonna get in front of your bullets.
I can't imagine all that carbon and smoke,
Yeah.
gunpowder getting
Watch out
all
for
over the house. Poor Fluffy.
Yeah,
Poor
right?
kitty. He was a good kitty.
Oh my God, I didn't expect that. I expected us to talk about it and be like, well, maybe.
But our guys have it because they test function rifles after they build them while they're building the range. But I do.
In their living room, Casey? They do it in their house, right?
No. It's at. But no, that's my next story. That's in the back of the shop. I do have a lady that used to work for me. Her husband had a full-blown range in a normal house basement, normal development, suburban neighborhood. He was a 22 shooter, competitive, one hand behind the back ordeal. It was even set up with a timer, and the light doesn't. The light comes on, stays on the 30 seconds, shuts off. And yeah, he had the full blown. He had some, purification down there, and he came by the office one day. I was like, yeah, I just bought a new HK USP TAC 40. He's like, well, and I was like, it's got adjustable sights. I've never had it. He said, well, come to the basement and shoot it tonight. And I'm like, what? So sure enough, he had built his own type. I mean, it was basically, a bunch of like fiberboard with a bunch of peat, like crush and run gravel in it.
Father's Day's coming up.
Yeah.
Right.
Hey,
you
Kev,
tell me I didn't have to move into the middle of nowhere and build a range in my backyard. I could have just done it at the old house.
Exactly.
Hey,
And now with silencers, I mean, like I can shoot anywhere.
Go ahead, Eric.
Yeah, you're lucky, Casey. Hey, any talk on the floor about that Mossberg lawsuit with the CMC triggers and?
I read that right before I took off for the trip, and I didn't see or hear anyone mention it. But real quick, you want to mention what you're talking about?
Sure. So for those that don't know, Mossberg, either at the show or right before the show, basically is starting to sue companies that are building drop-in triggers, saying it's patent infringement, so it's IP patent law. CMC Triggers pays Mossberg a royalty fee for every trigger, or to license the trigger technology. So you have companies like Patriot Ordnance Factory, other companies out there. I think Elfman's another one that was listed that are now being sued by Mossberg for patent infringement.
Yep.
So what's your take on that, Eric?
If it's truly their patent and they spent money developing that patent, they should enforce their patent. Because in any other industry, big or small, if you spent that money to go through the patent process, which is not a cheap process by itself, if you don't enforce your patent, everyone will then use that patent, and you lose that whatever competitive advantage you had.
So you're talking for drop-ins that are like encased, all one single, like the CMCs and the Elfmans and
that kind of box style where everything's encased within that square.
I was having this talk earlier with someone else in the industry today. The patent that they have, and it from what I understand, Mossberg bought this patent, so it's not really actually theirs. Well, it wasn't originally theirs. So they bought the rights to it, and now they've decided to enforce it. The patent itself is for not the actual internals of it, of a drop-in trigger. It's the two-pin. It's the two-pin.
It's the design.
The AR two-pin style drop-in. So basically, a housing with two pins. So it would only go toward for ARs, but at the same time, that's it's a very broad patent, and it's pretty extreme on the edge. It's not like there's some technology that they have aside from the fact that they just decided to throw a patent on something that was already basically existing prior to it. It's not like
so we're gonna have to listen to lawyers and courts and appeals and all that crap until we get to the bottom line with this.
I wonder if it has anything to do with the fact that a regular drop-in, like a Geisley trigger, the two pins, like the hammer pin, the other pin, are independent of each other. And I think these drop-ins are merely only to secure the trigger. They're not holding any pressure. I think all the pressure mechanisms in the trigger are encased in that housing. That's the only thing I'm thinking. Maybe that's the wrong way to look at it, but
everybody, as we're watching and wrapping up the show, stay tuned. We're still going to give away this slide. There's going to be a way to do it, and then also we're going to show that video. So we're going to run a little bit late tonight. Sorry to jump in, guys. I just want to make sure because we're up at the top of the hour. You know how people get. We talked about everything we needed to. A couple of stories about people defending themselves. Let's not do that one. Ross, you want to do the bubble thing real quick?
Oh yeah, you shouldn't have lit off like that. So, a school here in Colorado just suspended a little girl for bringing a damn bubble maker to school. They say they have a zero tolerance policy. The thing is a fake weapon, a replica weapon. Oh, God help us. And they suspended the little girl. It's time to wake up, guys. It's time to stop with the stupid shit. It's a bubble maker. It didn't even look like a gun. Let me show you a picture of this thing. 5-year-old. We're doing this to 5-year-olds. Let me see if I can share this screen here.
As Russ shares the picture, do we think this is less of a quote-unquote gun issue and more of a helicopter parent issue gone crazy?
Yeah, it's admin gone crazy. It's someone who made a judgment call that says that you know this is not acceptable. This is going to lead to this is a gateway drug. This bubble gun.
Before you know it, they're into GI Joes and Nerf guns, and it goes downhill.
Oh, and they definitely corrupted my ass. Look what I become.
Right.
Yeah, Steel Target in my office. Damn it.
It's infecting absolutely everything right now. You know, the whole Disney thing recently here. They banned the pop guns from Pirates of the Caribbean. They banned the bubble guns there as well. Anything, you know, even the Buzz Lightyear blaster things.
That's come on.
I mean, it's ridiculous. They don't even sell them in the park anymore.
Yep.
So this type of culture, the mentality is completely permeating our culture right now, and it's something that we have to fight against.
These parents knew it's hard.
You have Instagram?
I do.
Okay, cool. You're in too, just for fun. It's going to help us cross-pollinate our viewers. So, real quick, L2D_combat right now has 297 followers according to my Instagram count. Let's say that once they get to 500, 200 out, and the people that also go and subscribe to the Gun News Weekly, or not the Gun News, we don't have a Gun News Weekly. Do the Tac Daddy, do Eric the Gear Locker, and do Joe C's. Or Joe, what is your, is it 13C?
We're at 13C Gun Reviews on
There you
Instagram.
go, 13C Gun Reviews. And then collectively,
we're at TGL Eric, Kevin. Come on.
TGL Eric, the Gear Locker, Eric with a C.
You got it.
Eric's the monster so Eric, you're gonna have to tell us which of your crew qualifies, because Eric's the monster when it comes to Instagram. There's a ton of people following him. So
how'd that happen? I'm already following.
Kind of, yeah, I bet. Kind of, Eric, pay attention, and then maybe the next couple hundred as we pace with. But you definitely need to go over L2D Combat. I'm calling out. I didn't get an answer. I asked him if I could do this, and I didn't get an answer. So I might have to end up funding this. But
that means you got permission. Go.
I don't know, but we're doing it. This is the L2D Glock Gen. This is their first version, but it fits a Glock Gen 4, Glock 19, and it's going to be all on Instagram. So I'll post a picture of it. Eric will retweet it. See how dumb I am at Instagram. and then Joe will pop it out. But actually, right now, if you go over to the L2D_combat. Go there first, because that's where you got to start. And his first picture that's up right now tells you everything about it. If you don't win one and you want one of the other color or something, $145 is the list price right now.
Dude, that's awesome.
And he's got the picture of all the different colors. And again, when they're gone, they're gone. So check that out. I'll share it real quick. This is the picture you want to go check out on Instagram. Boom.
Bam.
All right. So anyway, thanks for supporting them.
Have you seen all those in person?
Yeah, I saw them all lined up just like that today.
How does the gold look?
Gold.
The money?
James Bond. Casey, James Bond, man. Gold figure.
Oh, man, I got to get
Casey, I think you're going to have to start a collection is what I think.
I need to pimp it. Now, you know me. I don't do anything lightly.
Hey, remind me, after the show, I'll send you a couple, and I'll repost it. Actually, I have on my Instagram is the rose gold that they did. They did a Glock 43. And a Glock 42 in the.
Is that the picture that looked gold? It had
Yes.
the Pierce grip. Okay, yeah, I saw that.
Yep.
Money.
All right, winding it up. Ammo, go get it. It's going to be a shortage. There's an article about it on one of the shows.
Don't cause a panic.
Don't cause
Okay.
a panic.
So I'm a technological idiot, but here's the
Oh,
gun,
you got to be kidding me.
guys.
Here we
This
go.
is
Thanks,
what a
Ross.
2-year-old or 5-year-old got suspended for.
That's
look,
ridiculous.
it's got a detachable magazine. Oh.
Please help us, please,
If-
people.
If the parents were any good in that area, every single one of them would show up at the next meeting and demand the idiot who suspended that girl be fired. I mean,
Absolutely.
There's no excuse for that. There's absolutely none.
And if they didn't, they should all go home and shoot themselves. That's
They
ridiculous.
really
And
need to
that-
think about that.
And that is probably reason 1,500,000 that we homeschool our girls.
Yeah.
You know, this is also the outcome of big government, mind you.
Now I'm gonna
It's 10:04. Do not get Ross on
Let's
camera.
wrap it up. We're going to wrap it up. Ross, I'm going to give you 2 stories. One is the type of folk at the NRA. But before I go there, I'm going to wrap this one up. Usually when we go to these recitals with the kids, the other kids are acting up and the parents act like they don't even see it going on, and it's ruining the show. Tonight I saw some parenting, and I was very proud to see some people doing the right thing, and they made it comfortable to the point that I said something to the woman before I left. I said, thank you very much for being a good mother, because I've sat in so many of these and watched people just act like they don't know that it's happening versus being the type of parent that she was. She gave him one chance. She called him over. She gave him one chance. He kept going. She made him go. He went on a timeout in the middle of this. He knew she whispered whatever, and he walked over there. He knew that he was under discipline, and so good ups to her. Good ups to those good families out there doing the right thing. So Ross, there are some good ones.
Oh yeah, they're out there.
The other one was, and this is just odd. This is one of those things. You grow up in D.C., you go to school in Baltimore, and something like this happens to you in life, and you can't hardly believe it. And then you say to yourself, "Oh, of course, that's the place that it would happen." So I was honored enough to have Rob Pincus invite us to come and be able to actually film his presentation, as I discussed earlier. So I had a couple camera angles, and one of them was I put my new GoPro 4 on the first chair, first row, right on the aisle, and aimed it up at the podium so I could get the whole podium and the
Who sat on it?
PowerPoint.
Who knocked it over?
So home base was the Wolf booth. Shout out to CJ, the big 3 guys, and then everybody else at the Wolf booth. Appreciate everything there, including an occasional water, that kind of thing. It's great to have friends. Let's just put it that way. And so I get back maybe an hour after, because after he was done, we went and ate something, and then I went back. I was like, let me go, get my stuff reorganized, drop off cameras. I get back there, and I go, oh my God, I left my GoPro on the chair. I look at my watch. It's 2.5 hours after Rob's done talking, and I knew that the next thing was going to start 3 hours after he was done, because he had an hour after Q&A with everybody there. So I go back to the room, and I walk down the aisle, and at this time, all the people that saw Rob were gone. The new folks were setting up on the stage, and the audience was literally 2/3 almost full. And I'm walking up, and I'm like, no chance. And I walk up, and the GoPro's sitting right there. And I pick it up, and I look at all these people, and I go, well, yeah, of course, this is the type of place that everyone's going to respect your property and respect you, and who's going to steal someone's camera in front of everybody,
First year at Chat Show, Kevin, I left my D40 in the lobby as I walked out to grab food. Came back 20 minutes later, it was still sitting where it was. I know that feeling.
It's amazing.
It's an amazing feeling.
Wow.
It's an amazing feeling.
That's a lot more than a GoPro 4.
Yeah.
Down to that whole, to be like the Wild Wild West if everybody's armed. And this is like the antithesis of that.
I was hoping you caught some scandalous footage, like on the next set.
Well, what's really cool actually is I got not scandalous footage, but I got footage where no one knew the camera was rolling. So what I got was literally about a half hour. I haven't had a chance to listen to it, but I saw it, and it's there, and the audio is there, of average people walking up and asking Rob questions.
Tag Daddy Gold.
So
Dude, that is awesome.
That might be fantastic stuff. I'm hoping that it is what I think it is. All right, let's get out of here, guys. You got anything else to promote, talk about, anything? Joe, one more time, thanks for jumping on tonight, bro.
Thanks.
Glad we got the audio.
Appreciate you having me anytime.
Yeah, man. It was great seeing you in person again, as always, too.
You too, and I think I got the best patch of the show right here.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
That's money.
That's a winner right there.
That is
Who's
money,
it from,
man.
Joe?
What's that?
Who's it from?
ZevTech. These guys make a unique patch every year. And I'll get you one saved. And shout out to my buddy Mookie with his purple drank.
He's perfect white. And
Get
well soon.
They call
I'm
it.
glad to hear he's on the mend.
And get well soon. Yep, he's probably already back at it right as we speak.
He is. He hopped the plane
Telling somebody some freedom.
They wouldn't let him have bourbon in the hospital, so he's like, I'm out.
Yeah. All right, Eric from TGL Eric on Instagram. See, I nailed it.
There you go.
Right on. We'll see you next week.
Sounds good, man. Have a good one.
Right on. Casey.
Yeah, man.
Pre-game, your pre-show issues ironed out, and that we didn't have to talk about any of them.
Yeah. You asshole.
That's what makes it different. Ross, talk to you soon, brother.
Yeah, man. Just everybody make sure to check out Gun News Weekly at gunnewsweekly.blogspot.com.
Thank you very much.
Will do.
And I'm going to shout out everything else I got taken care of. Yes, one more time. If you don't know about the L2D Combat Slide giveaway, rewind this tape about 20 minutes and go check it out. We gave you kind of all the parameters. But basically, we're going to pay attention. The 4 channels are going to pay attention, put together all those people that join in a finite amount of time following us on Instagram, and we are going to give one of them one of these banging slides.
You know this means you're doing all the work, Eric, right?
Yeah, I got that message. We're good.
All right.
We are.
Right on. Well, good night, everybody. On the way out, I want to share a video with you that came across my desk today. Shout out to the guys at Double Tap. And that's doubletapstore.com. Turns out they have a story to tell as well, and we are committed this year. Shout out to Q, shout out to Schwell. See you guys next week.
Get well soon, Schwell.
Committed this year to tell some stories about our veterans, but most importantly to make sure that the awareness continues to rise as much as we can here. And we're going to end it tonight with a video that, again, I think is worth sharing. Fellas, I appreciate you jumping on tonight. Everybody watching, thank you very much. Please share this on your Facebook, your Instagram, all that stuff. We're trying to build this audience. We got big stuff coming with guests and with features and with new stuff. I promise you coming very soon. So thank you very much. And as we go out, we'll just we'll do this and then we'll go to black after we're done. Good night, guys.
See you.
During deployment, you know, you expect you're going to lose something, someone. Post-deployment, you don't ever think about that. Or at least we never thought about that. It doesn't start getting to you or becoming something for years. And once you stop moving, it's when everything just starts comes at you. Since the end of 08 till now, I personally have lost 7 individuals just from my brigade. A good majority of those are legitimate brothers, but it's not to a bullet from an enemy downrange, just from themselves. I wouldn't even turn on my Facebook thing because every time I did, it was like somebody else had committed suicide, and it's hard, Nobody wants to talk about that. Nobody understands it. I don't even understand it, but I've been there, like, how does somebody talk about that? How do I talk about it? They lose a sense of purpose. I've lost the sense of purpose since I was out. I have a lot of great things in my personal life, family, kids, right? Everything is awesome, but it doesn't change what's in your head to realize that there were others out there, especially my brothers out there that are dealing with the same stuff, like almost to a T. That's when I realized that this isn't and doesn't have to be catastrophic. Once I started focusing on everyone else, it helped me. That gives me purpose. With purpose, you have direction. With direction, you keep going. Large amount of veterans that are coming together to get rid of this whole stigmatism that is suicide. You can't do it by yourself. Talk to your buddies and your friends and your soldiers and everybody that was there with you, so that when they push through these obstacles, they can sit here in a chair like this and talk about their experiences, so maybe somebody can relate to them. And go, oh, he did it, well, I can surely do it.